Hi, my name's Todd Vinson in Chandler, Oklahoma with Willow Springs Boys Ranch and Jacob's Ladder Camps. We take boys ages 7 to 12 that need a long-term place to stay. I think they used to call a place like ours an orphanage, but really what we do is provide a long-term place for a guy whose family's in crisis and need a home. I'd like to show you our graduate house. This is a house that guys that graduated from high school and graduated from our program can learn some independent living skills. There's a real dear family that's friends of our boys ranch named Troy and Dolly Smith, and they're the founders of Sonic Restaurants. And some of their dear friends had a grandson that came and was one of our residents at the boys ranch. Troy asked me one day what we were going to do next, and we told him we wanted to have a place that when guys graduated that they could have a place to live and have some independent living skills and still have some structures that go out on their own. And Troy said that he would like to help with that. The Smiths built this house for us, but each guy pays some nominal rent, takes care of the utilities. They share the house chores, they have to mow the yard, they have to change air filters, all the things that you would have to do if you rented or owned a home. My wife's great uncle approached me and asked me what I want to do with the rest of my life. And fortunately, I had a fairly educated answer. And my background, I've been working at Young Life and Kanakuk camps. I said, I want a place like Young Life or Kanakuk that we can work relationally with kids. Would love to have a boys ranch so we could take care of boys long term, and then have a camp similar to Young Life or Kanakuk that we can reach kids in Oklahoma. He said, well, I've been watching you the last 3.5 years, and I've always wanted to start a boys ranch. It's not either been the right time or found the right person. So if that's what you want to do, I'd like to drive you up to Chandler, Oklahoma and show you this property. And he said, if this is what you want to do, I'd like to set up a nonprofit and donate the land to you and help you get started. And so that's how Willow Springs started. When we first started the ranch, we kind of canvassed the state of all the major, or the bigger cities with the elementary and middle schools, and we sent out packets of information. And then most of it has been word of mouth or personal references that folks have found us or found us on our website. But we've served kids now from Louisiana, Texas, Colorado, I think as far as California. If they can get them here and they meet our criteria, then actually we also had a boy from New Mexico that we've had out here with us as well. So if you can get here, or we can find a way to get you here, then our goal is to take a guy long term and keep him and get him through high school and college, and go see high school graduations, or if they don't go to the military, see him graduate from boot camp, and those are fun times. We try to set it up real life, and as guys turn 16, encourage them to have save money for a vehicle so they can go to work and have a way to get to work and get to college. And like these guys here today, it's kind of quiet because 6 guys are gone to work. You work 8 hours a day on a tree farm. You come home at night. You sleep real well, and you're not causing a lot of trouble because you're worried about getting up and doing it the next day. So teaching these guys about work ethic and character is important for us, because they've not always seen that and had that experience. So they're learning how to manage money as well and budget. The guys that own vehicles are also getting to learn the joys of making car repairs and maintaining a vehicle and doing all the things that guys need to do to be a leader in their home. Those trees are a good metaphor to the boys that are growing up out here. They can remember they came in a little bitty, and we've got some of the giant oaks that we tell guys that an oak tree it's so big and it's so stable because it grows real slow, but it's consistent over a long period of time. And so we want our guys to be one of those oak trees, not just a scrub river willow when they grow up, that are going to be here and grow fast but then die out because they don't have deep roots or a deep support system. So you got to have some good farm metaphors when you live out in the country. So this is the boys ranch, and I'm going to drive you to the back part of our property to what we call Jacob's Ladder. We wanted to grow the camp and the ranch as we could responsibly grow, but have a place that we could reach kids, whether they are kids that were low economic status or I guess the haves or the have-nots. We want to have a place here in Oklahoma that we could, the tagline we've come up with is help people grow in their vertical and horizontal relationships. And if you look at a vertical and horizontal relationship, then what that is the cross. And if you're going to have peace and happiness and fulfillment in life, it can't happen unless you have a relationship with Christ. So That's our purpose at Jacob's Ladder. Our purpose here at Jacob's Ladder in Willow Springs is to have an impact on Oklahoma. And maybe that be the launch pad that we help send other people out into our state and our country and really live out the Great Commission, even to the ends of the earth, to help people with the gospel. This is my best friend and my partner out here, Darren Carr. This whole project that I've been describing to you, we sat on the 4th floor at Walker Towers at the University of Oklahoma and said, wouldn't it be cool one day if we could do something like this? And then that was in, I guess, 85? 85. In 1996, we were given the property, and then Darren was kind of on a consulting status for about 8 years, and then we finally got him out here full time to be our program director and our counselor here for our program. And he lives across the pond here in the brick home, and so it's fun to be out here with your best friend doing a project for the Lord like this. And so our families both live out here, and it's a blessing having him out here doing this with me.
What it means for us to be out here as a family is just that our family is involved in the community of what happens at Willow Springs, and rather than it being a job that the husband or the dad goes off to, our family just lives life out here with Willow Springs. And that's really what it's about. That's what Willow Springs is all about. It's just life on life, it's investing in other people and hopefully making a difference.
The family that built this for us, there's a place up in Missouri called Big Cedar, and it's probably one of the nicest places in Missouri that sits on Table Rock Lake. And I think we've got our own Big Cedar Lodge here with what the Johnsons built for us. We've got a master bedroom downstairs, and then upstairs there's 2 bedrooms and a loft. So you can put, depending on how well you like your group, you can have anywhere from 8 to 10 or 12 people in here, depending on how cozy you want to get. But,
it really is gorgeous.
Just very peaceful. We'll have folks that'll come and say, hey, I need a place for a day retreat, a pastor or a missionary that needs to come and work on some messages or just take some retreat. And a lot of them say, I don't even want to talk to anybody. I want to come in and just be by myself, and I'll lock up. I guess now we're going to put on notes, so make sure you lock up and don't let the raccoons in when you leave. Well, one of our banners over there is Goals for Kids. We did a basketball camp right before we got our gym built, and we were going to raise money to put in our basketball goals for out here. And the whole premise was we were going to raise about $5,000 in sponsorships and then $15,000 in camp fees. And the kids that started calling, that we got on the radio and promoted it, and the kids that were coming were kids that didn't have the resources. And so we ended up giving away a fundraiser. We ended up getting $15,000 in sponsorships, and then we had a few $1,000s come in through just plain donations. I think we had maybe $1,000, $1,200 come in camp fees. Got some great Spalding basketball goals that we did on a fundraiser that we charged nobody for. So we're not near that smart. It's just God having a good sense of humor, and He goes, we're going to give it away, and we're going to get your goals taken care of. So it will be. So we've got great goals, and we gave away a basketball camp to get to do it. There's a buddy of mine named Jim Riley that played football for the University of Oklahoma and the Miami Dolphins. He's a great big, just kind of a man's man. And when we first started the ranch, I was whining and crying about, we just live hand to mouth, and I don't think we're ever gonna make it, and we're never gonna make this thing work. And he said, Todd, living hand to mouth is not bad when it's living from God's hand to your mouth. What you do is you pull the other person over on top of yourself, because you're relying on your own abilities. Now that you fall in our ditch here, you can see all these gopher mounds. There's a couple of places here, if you're not careful, the ground gives out from under you from the...
You're not supposed to tell him when I fell in the ditch.
Oh, did I say fall in the ditch? It's going to be the blooper section.
Falling in the ditch. Thought I was to be graceful in my recovery too.
That was very graceful.
Yeah.